Alright, class, so I hope you guys are ready to start your new chapter in math, chapter 8. We are starting fractions today, and I'm really excited for that. I want to just say that you guys, I'm really proud of you for doing your math test on Friday. A lot of you guys told me it was really easy. I know you guys all did your best, and I really hope that you guys learned a lot about division and that you can keep practicing it so you don't forget, okay? Both multiplication and division, they're very important. Alright, so with that being said, let's get right into your new chapter of fractions. So I am going to go over the introduction part with you, and I'm also going to just give you an insight on what it is. We're going to actually start the lesson tomorrow. This is just like an introduction, okay, to take it easy as we ease into it. So usually you guys do this part by yourself at school, but we're going to do it together because you don't really have that choice right now for you to do it on your own. So, yeah, let's just look at this. Before we get into that, let's go over the vocabulary that you're going to have for this chapter. So I'm going to put a picture of it right here. And this will also be in OneNote in the math lesson section, okay? So, you have quite a few vocabulary words, but they are kind of similar in a sense. A lot of them are similar in a sense. So the first one, denominator, that is as you can see there, is the bottom part of a fraction. Eighths is when something is divided into 8 parts. Equal parts is when things are divided exactly the same amount. Fourths are when it's divided into 4 parts. A fraction is a number that names part of a whole or part of a group. So fraction is what we're talking about. Fractions greater than 1 is when the numerator is greater than the denominator. So numerator is the top part, numerator is the top number, and denominator is the bottom number. So it's when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. That'll make sense soon. Halves is when it's in 2 parts. Again, numerator is the top part of a fraction. Sixths is divided into 6 parts. Thirds divided into 3 parts. And unit fraction is when a fraction has 1 as the numerator, and a whole is all of the parts of one shape or group. Okay? That's what makes up the whole thing. So those are your vocabulary words. Your assignment today will be to do something with those. We'll talk about that more at the end. So let's go over the introduction part of your new chapter. Alright, so this first part is asking about equal parts. The directions say circle the shape that has equal parts. So if you look at these two shapes, they are the same. They are both pentagons, but their division parts are a little different. This one has a dividing line right here. This one has a dividing line right here. Which one has equal parts on both sides of that dividing line? Well, the correct answer is this one. As you can see here, this line and down the middle that makes this side and this side have the exact same amount. On this one, this line down the middle, this one has only a little bit and this side has a lot. So they're not equal. Okay, equal means the same. So with that being said, let's look at this picture, number 2. We're looking at these 3. Which ones are divided equally, meaning that I have the same amount on the lines that are dividing it? So here we have a line dividing it here and here. Are these 3 the same amount? Well, let's look at the next one. We have a line dividing here and here, and that makes us have 4 parts. Are these 4 parts the same? Are they equal? Well, let's look at the third one before you answer. We have a dividing line here, and here are the 4 parts. Are these 4 parts equal? Are they the same size? Which one does have parts that are the same? You should have answered this one in the middle. With our dividing lines, all 4 of these triangles are the same size. With this one, the dividing lines, we have 2 tiny triangles which are the same size, but this middle part is really big and it doesn't match. Over here, our square, we have dividing lines. We have 4 different squares, but they're all 4 different sizes, so they're not equal. So this one right here would be equal. Number 3, the directions for 3, 4, and 5 say, write the number of triangles needed to cover the shape. So I'm a visual person, so I'm going to actually draw triangles in the shape. So I have 1 triangle there, I have 1 triangle there, and then that makes 1 more right down here. So 3 It looks like 1, 2, 3 triangles would make up the shape, and there are 3 equal shapes of triangles. Let me bring this in a little bit, a little closer. Perfect. So as you can see here, it would be 3 triangles make up this shape. Now how about this one over here? Well, again, I'm visual, so let's make actual triangles. 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles would make up that shape. So you see, you can do it just like me. If it's asking you to see how many triangles make up the shape, you can actually draw out the triangles, but make sure that they are as equal as possible. Let me bring the zoom out a little bit and go to our last question. Our last one's asking how many triangles make up this shape. Well, if I put a line right down the middle, I get 2 triangles. So that would be 2 triangles make up that shape. Not that bad, right? Okay, let's go to the last section. For number 6 and 7, it says complete. So first we have to find how many groups we have. Well, that's easy. That's just like multiplying and dividing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. As you can see here, 4 groups. And how many are in each group? Well, as we can see here, there are 2 flowers in each group. That's easy. Let's look at number 7. How many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 groups. And how many make up each group? 1, 2, 3, 4 flies make up each group. And that's all you got to do for that one. All right, and for this last part, I have drawn it out here on my little mini board. This part, all you have to do is name what shape this is or what it's divided into. Okay, so it's a map and they all have equal parts. Now, you have to tell me how many equal parts are in each picture. That's all you got to tell me. So, remember back in our vocabulary list, we talked about eighths and thirds and fourths and a half. That's what we're going to name these, okay? So all we have to do is count how many pieces we have and determine what name it's going to have. So for this first one over here, how many pieces is it divided into? Well, there's no lines dividing it, so this would be think of a pizza. If it's not cut up, it would be a whole pizza. So this one right here is a whole. Okay? Now let's look at the second one over here. How many pieces is it divided into? Well, I count 1, 2. So if something is divided into 2 parts, that means it is cut in, I think you said it, it's cut in half. So that is the name of that shape. If something is cut into 2 parts, it's a half. Okay? Or plural, halves. Let's make it plural. Halves. Let's go to this one over here. How many pieces is it cut into? Let's count. I count 1, 2, 3. So then that name would be thirds. You see? This is not that hard. All you have to do is determine how many pieces it's cut into and then find its name. This one right here is cut into how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be fourths. That was written kind of sloppy, but that is fourths. How about this one over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So it's cut into, what's its name? Sixths. That's its name. Most of them, as you can see, are going to be ending in THS. Let's look at this one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So it's divided into eighths. Again, THS. So you see, guys, all you need to do is memorize, if however many it's divided into, it has a specific name. And these are the names. Now, your assignment for today is to go on OneNote and match the definition with the proper vocabulary word. Remember, I told you that the vocabulary word that I showed you in the video is going to be posted in OneNote under math lessons at the top of OneNote. So that's like the part above your name, above collaborative space. There's something called math lessons, and it'll be right there, okay? So that'll help you to answer the questions to the vocabulary matching to the definition. Okay, so that's all your assignment is for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this introduction to fractions. Like I said, it's not that hard, it's not that scary, especially because you guys already understand division and multiplication. Okay, so I'm really excited to go forward with this chapter. So go ahead and work on your assignment.